There it goes. Yeah, I looked up and... Okay. Harvest Host. Harvest Host.
I guess we're talking about Harvest Host today.
It's Harvest Host 2020 coronavirus.
Anyway, I don't know if you guys know what Harvest Hosts are, but it's an app that you can purchase on your phone, and what it entails is that a lot of wineries and farms and different types of businesses are opening up their land for you to stay on while you're traveling. And so that way, if you're boondocking like we are, or even, just want to pull up in your van or whatever you live in, they'll let you stay for free. There is a suggestion that you go ahead and purchase something from the winery, whether it be a bottle of wine or snacky type stuff or anything like that. But you don't have to. They're no charge for you to stay on the land. I love buying a bottle of wine and trying new kinds of wine, so I'll typically spend $12 to $18 on a bottle of wine. I don't think that's terrible. You go to the grocery store, you can probably spend that much on a good bottle of wine. So, and it's fun to try different vineyards and different types of wine. So I like that, and you get to see a lot of different beautiful places. Anyway,
I always get it.
We were in Parker, Arizona for 2 months, sitting in the desert, trying to wait out the quarantine, trying to stay safe, away from people.
Met some great people. It was good stuff.
Yeah, it was good. We met a couple of people that we still keep in contact with, so that's awesome. But it started to get hot there toward the end of, end of April? April
20th, yeah.
20-something, 2020, it was going to get hot, and we're like, we got to head, just make our way to Oregon, and so...
Well, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. Weather is going bad both places. And I'm thinking, well, are we going to boondock our way up through Nevada, not knowing? We were watching YouTube videos, and people are just going crazy. They're kicking me off land. I got woke up by a park ranger in the middle of nowhere, California, and he said, you got to go.
We struggled with which way we wanted to go. Nevada way or California way.
We had made new friends, Oregonians, 2 sets, and they were going to go
Nevada way.
Somewhere. They were going to go play and hide in Arizona up at somewhere for...
up by Flagstaff, I think.
Right.
Close to
Sedona right.
Area.
Anyway, fun people, great. We're all trying to figure out what we're going to do. Nobody really knows what to do. It's just stupid everywhere. So we called Harvest Host, and 9 out of 10 said, come on up.
Yeah, we did that a couple weeks before, maybe a week before we were ready to go.
I think it was like not even a week, because I remember the one guy saying, I can get you in on Thursday. And it was like right. Monday. So it was like, so I called Lance. We have a Lance. We had some problems. And I called and I said, can you fix it? Are you open? They were like, sure, we can probably fit you in on Thursday. And I'm looking at the weather map going, perfect. That's Wednesday's the day it's going to get hot as hell. So I'm going to leave Wednesday night, and we're going to head that direction and just go ahead and pull into their lot on Wednesday.
Right.
Beat the heat, and it worked to our advantage. That's what we did.
They let us park there for the night with hookups.
Full hookups.
So, and then they were there right away at, 7 a.m., 7:30 a.m. to look at our stuff because we set our alarm because we knew they were going to be there.
We got a heater going. We got a rainstorm going.
Yeah, that's what's going on right now. So it might be hard to hear us, but anyway, so Lance was an adventure.
We had green grass for the first time in 6 months.
Yeah, I took my flip-flops off and just walked in the grass. And it felt so good.
Social distancing. We had our AC on because it got up to like 90.
Yeah, 90-something.
80, 91. It was still a little warm in Southern California, but anyway, we're still expecting the Harvest Host people to be good, which they were. We stayed 2 days at Lance. Everything was good. After being boondocking for 6-7 months, we finally hooked up to power for the first time ever in 7 months. Hooked up to power, hooked up to water. It's nice. Like, hot shower after hot shower after.
We were kind of taking advantage of it a little bit, but we deserve it. I don't care what anybody says. Boondocking's cool and all that, but to actually just be able to take a hot, long shower or to plug something in and curl your hair or whatever you want to do, I mean, that's nice. That's pretty nice.
So we're on the way to the first Harvest Host. Paso Robles, Tobin James. I get up early in the morning. I get my first experience with a frickin' mountain pass. Pretty good one. Grapevine. Going down into Grapevine. Little stressful, but everything was good. Everybody that sees my vehicle's like, can you pull that with that? I'm so sick of that. That thing is pulled. Now, we got new shoes on her.
Yeah, we got some nice tires.
She got some nice, sexy new shoes, and she thanked me all the way. Everything's a 200-mile run at this point. I left Parker, and I think it was 200-ish to Lance. Now, from Lance, it's going to be... I don't think it was quite 200.
I think it was like 150.
It was a ride, but it was up over a huge pass, and we got there. Tobin James, Harvest Host, freaking amazing. Easy to in, easy out.
Very nice.
Best of all,
I
would say nobody's came close to the boondock ability of Tobin James and Paso Robles. You drive down around a corner, right off the highway. You don't even have to go into town. You're way out of town.
A big grassy field with trees. And
it was like a little mini mountain.
The birds were chirping all the time.
The bugs were crawling around. She was on grass.
Our dog was getting
grass.
cockaburs in her long fur because she's short to the ground and she went through tall grass and then she kept going over there and she kept getting more cockaburs.
Well, she's in nature again. She's out of the desert where everything was like lizards and rattlesnakes and crap to God knows what. There was a lot of stuff out there, and she was excited about all of it. So, Tobin James, she had a great experience at Tobin James.
They have a really cool, is it stone, Mark's?
Yeah, they got an outdoor pizza oven, fireplace. They're closed down, unfortunately.
But the stonework was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a nice wedding venue. We didn't get to go all the way back in it, but you could tell it was really pretty.
Wonderful. They're like, you can stay here 2 days. We're like, yay. She said she had the best bottle of wine she ever had, and she bought 3 of them to prove it, or 2 or 3. I think he ended up with 3 of those. Maybe not. Maybe 2.
No, I think 2, because I bought that other one first. But nice people, very nice, very, kept their social distancing. They would come out and there's a table there. You could pay on the phone, so you didn't have to really exchange debit or anything. You just call up and order and go get it. So, I mean, they were trying to be cool.
Yeah, they were cool.
But, Yeah.
So anyway, Tobin James was her favorite wine she's ever had. I heard that 10 times. Best wine I've ever had in my life.
It's called Notorious.
Yeah, even I was like, wow, that's crazy.
It's a Cabernet Sauvignon, but it is
gives you a ride.
delicious.
Each drink's like a new little adventure. It was like, wow, that's
it was
weird.
$18, but the guy, when he talked to me about it, I think he was the owner, but I'm not 100% for sure, because then I never saw him again after that first day. But when he was telling me about the wines, he was telling me about that one, and he goes, "You're getting a $40 wine for $18."
Yeah, so
and I should have jumped on that, but instead I picked some other kind, which was good too.
So Harvest Host saves our ass. That's our first Harvest Host, right? Yeah, because we did Lance, then Tobin James. So anyway, I called her and she's like, yeah, come on up. And I said, how's the road? Not too bad, a little windy, but that's it. Which, no, this road was horrid. It was it was paved, but terrible. I could just shaking the whole way. It said rough road.
Yeah.
We whined all the way up there, and she didn't. If she had a sign, it wasn't clear. Like, it should. Don't hang something on a fence with like a piece of paper.
Yeah.
If nobody's looking for a piece of paper.
You can't see
need
that
a sign.
when you're driving by.
In the ditch, you should have a sexy little, nice, colorful, bright Harvest Host, sign that's easy to spot. Maybe Harvest Host should have something that,
I have seen places that had Harvest Host.
I've seen it too.
Harvest Host sign, park here. So I think Harvest Host may even offer that to their host or whatever.
This was a nightmare. It was. I can see now that I've been there, I could go there and stay there. No problem. I know what I was going, but I'm pulling a 28-footer. I went past it. There's no turnarounds. You're backing up people on a crowned road that's only 8 foot wide, single lane. I'm backing
he's backing up
up a steep hill.
But then it wouldn't go straight, so you'd have to go forward some more and then backwards. And I'm like, I'm not saying a word because I know how pissed off he is.
Well, it's so crowned that if you're not shooting straight down that middle of that road, your campers want any.
Oh, we were sweating and cussing and all that shit.
Well, and then where I turned around was an impossible turnaround, but I made it. It's a no-go.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm pissed.
We're so mad, and it's and we don't even like what it looks like. Really.
And it's really my fault. It's kind of Harvest Host little app that was at fault, but it's. People investigate how to get there. I usually call, is there any problems to get in?
And
I did ask her, and she didn't act like it was a big deal. But if you miss her turn, you're screwed.
Well,
and then you got to go back to the highway because you can't get in from that way. So if you do screw up, you got to go back all the way back out and go turn around and come on. No,
it was.
By that time, I'm like, yeah.
We already wasted enough time jacking around.
Yeah,
so we were like.
So Tobin James saved us for day 3.
We called him and she's like, "Yo, honey, don't worry about it. Come on back." And I'm like, "Okay, thank you."
So we're out there guarding Tobin James for another night. We're the night security. So we get up the next day, and we're off to our next one. We're like 3 days. They probably would have let us stay there a week. But we're like, 3 days at a Harvest House.
You don't want to overstay.
And not buy a case of wine.
Right. And we can't.
She wishes she would have bought a case of wine.
I wish I would have bought Notorious a case of Notorious. But I always get told, wait. The camper. We can't have all that weight. So,
yeah, true.
If we sit still, I could order a case.
So anyway, we take off from Paso Robles. We did go to the coast while we were there. So Tobin James was like Class A the whole way.
Cool.
Everything about it was perfect. You're only an hour from the coast. Probably really only 40 minutes.
I would go there again. Like if we're coming back this way.
It's definitely worth
I would
it.
stay there again.
She's gonna actually make me probably go back that way
Probably.
so she can stay at Tobin James for a month. Get ready, Tobin. Make
We'll
up
get a
some
job
Notorious.
there, and then
Oh
we can
yeah.
just live
Oh, I'd
there.
live there in a heartbeat. But they say it gets hot. Like it's
Mhm.
100 there for a month or two.
It was pretty hot, but I like that.
Oh, it was nice while we were there. It was warm. We had the windows open one night. Yeah, it was great.
It was.
You don't get to do that much anymore. It's like hit and miss. So anyway, we go to the next place is Viago up by Lodi. Super awesome. Again,
It's a really cool looking place. Oh my goodness sakes.
Where you park is, I wouldn't
It's
call
not
it
that
scenic.
cool,
No,
but,
you're
but
looking
it's not
at
that bad.
You're looking at vineyards and trees, an orchard. You're parked on an orchard. It's okay, but go take a
Take a walk
5-minute
over there
walk and
around the property and check
or
it
take
out.
that one. Yeah, 1 mile perimeter around.
then
You got a river.
Then the river's right there, and they have like chairs and stuff, so you can sit, just
Acre of
sit there
lush
by
grass.
the river, and your dog can run around or jump in the river, which ours did. But she survived. If there's water, man, you can't stop her.
And it had pretty good current, but she's pretty tough.
So
She
yeah.
loves it. And then it was wonderful. I highly recommend it. Again, nicest people. No wine tasting, obviously. Everything shut down,
Right.
obviously.
We have
But
a lot of
still
really
busy.
cool pictures we'll share with you.
Tobin James had the most people visiting. That Notorious must.
Oh, I bet it's their top seller.
Because the people were coming in there all
Oh,
day.
getting
Now
cases
the
of
other,
wine, cases of wine, cases
now
of wine.
Viago, not so much.
Not as much.
And
Well,
you-
one thing about Viago, is that the one?
Yeah, I don't know.
They gave me half price.
Yes, Viago had a.
They had a
sale
50% off sale.
for $12 bottles, which you bought quite a few.
No,
but
they were like $18 bottles or $20 bottles or something, and I paid like $13. So
Yeah.
it was decent wine. It wasn't as good as Tobin
we
James.
can't say that.
Oh, I'll take that out.
No,
Anyway, it
but-
was good. It was good wine.
Well,
they were
yeah,
nice
you
people.
can't have bad wine.
No,
Not really.
and they were
Well,
nice
you probably
people,
could.
and
Franzia, but
Ah.
anyway. So yeah, Viago A1, super cool, way nicer. Both of them had their thing. The
We
property
did
of
have-
Viago was better than Tobin James.
didn't
but
we have a trouble finding that one too?
we kind of shot past it again. Partially, I'm going to start going 1 mile an hour.
Because I'm like, oh, I think that was it or something, but
It
then
wasn't
we
a
weren't
big
sure.
deal. It was nothing like the other.
Then we called her, and then we got there.
So Viago, hands up,
Yeah,
river.
cool.
We walked. One day I walked the perimeter like 4 times just because it was so cool and peaceful there and neat.
And he could take the dog, and she
Yeah,
could get
took
her
the dog
exercise.
on a walk. Probably walked 3 or 4 miles that wet day. I should be walking about 20 to get strength because we sat in Parker
Yeah.
and didn't do nothing forever. We tried walking and I tried mountain biking, but it was just like. Anyway, so we take off from Viago. And we call the next 2 places that are right on the way. I want to be doing short bursts, taking another day, taking another day, taking another day.
Yeah, because it's
The weather's
tiring.
still iffy, blah, blah. So the next place we go to is like a fruit stand, and God bless them, they do have a lot of room for probably 2 or 3 rigs, but the problem is you're about 60 feet off the
It was
highway.
like a pie
Pie.
place. They had fruit pies that they made or something. And then where did we go after that?
Yeah, we took a nap because
Yeah.
then we ran into our second show up after 3:30 person.
Oh, that's right.
Which was also at the lady where we couldn't park there. She wasted our whole day because we had to wait till 3:30 before we showed up.
Right.
And then by the time we got up there, we were. Anyway, this is our second.
And it's
So I call up the road a little further, and it's lady, and I should have known because when I called, she's like, okay, during the COVID-19, do you own masks? Yes. Do you have an animal? Yes.
So then, after we leave there,
then it gets good. We go up over Shasta, Northern California. We start finally seeing real
beauty.
Cool
Mountains and water,
people boondocking,
trees, and
we're seeing campers, and it's like, how did they get down there? I want to stay there.
We thought everything was closed, and then you look off and you see people boondocking down on the beach. I'm like, what the hell? Anyway.
How they got down there, I would have liked to have known, because I would have liked to have been there for a week. That's what this is all about.
That's what I wanted to. I just want to go somewhere
like that.
Have water, have sun.
Well, you wouldn't have water there, but
no, I mean beauty.
Right. Oh, like river.
River.
We're on the phone.
Yes.
Coming down Shasta into Medford, up and down a couple more mountain passes. And we're calling, and nobody's answering in Medford. So we skip up to Grants Pass, and I'm like, ugh.
Well, after we left Medford, nobody was calling back. So I'm like, oh, we'll probably go a little bit further.
We found a Smith Family Farms. Great guy. Sure, come on up. I have another. I'm like, it's only 50 more miles. And we're still early. I think we still made good time.
It was like, we got there like at 1 or something, 12:30.
I don't know, but as soon as we pull into Grants Pass, 50 miles past Medford, the lady calls back at Medford, yeah, we're accepting. So we could have got an extra day or two, probably.
But we were already to Grants Pass by
we were already at Smithfield Farms.
Smith Family Farms.
Smith Family Farms. Another missed the turn. I will say I almost failed at every one of them except Tobin James.
Well,
everybody else, though, I drove past.
Needless to say.
It was awesome. He was great. Full hookups. Again, we're on our hookups. We're plugging in for our second time in a week.
Right. He said what do you want, like $10?
He wanted 15, but he took 10. He took 15, but he gave us hookups with a dozen eggs.
Right. So for $15, we got farm fresh eggs, which they were wonderful, and hookups. And dump.
I don't think hookups are necessarily worth $15.
But
because we're so good at the dump.
That was a bonus.
If you have to dump and you have dump. Yeah, we didn't really. Well, actually, we had a little bit. Yeah, we actually had about a week.
Mm-hmm.
So I took that week up over the mountain passes, but we've gotten so good at filling our black tank that a week is nothing in ours.
True. So then, after that, we
called another one just up the road at Redmond or Roseburg, called Melrose.
Oh yeah, Melrose Place.
Oh, the creme de la creme of views.
It was beautiful.
All the way in was cool.
It was like a little mountain town, kind of like it was really beautiful.
Surrounded by mountains, kind of rainforesty, beautiful spot, man. They give their boondockers the best.
You have the best view.
You got the best view of the whole vineyard by far. They let you check everything out. It's a perfect spot. Gravel. Where we
beautiful
were.
Beautiful grass where she could run and sniff and.
The only downside to that place, which was very little, and it's not even a downside, but the only downside was that it rained for one of the 2 days we stayed there. But we hadn't had rain yet, so we were cool.
And plus they let us get some water, so I thought that was nice.
Oh yeah,
too.
as much water as we needed.
Yeah.
So water, super big plus. They probably would have given you power if you would have ran an extension cord.
The wine was decent. I mean, it was decent. The inside of her winery, the little shop where you can buy wine, and she's got all sorts of knick-knacky, really cool things in there. I did buy, I think this is from
that glass.
I did buy this glass.
$5. What's it say on it?
Melrose, and it's sunshine.
Oh.
And holding a glass of wine.
And again, from this harvest host, we had to sneak into town, disobeying all rules of... But our runs into town were like to a liquor store.
And food.
And we were alcohol and not breathing and standing on one foot and doing jumping jacks, whatever it took to fight off the death. People in Oregon are not didn't look like anybody was worried about COVID to me. Every time you go to a store, it's packed. If you would have gone to any of those stores in a normal America, there would have been 4 cars in the parking lot. But this COVID...
Well, it's making people
go to the store. It's all they can do.
That's all there is to do. And even if I don't need food, which I hope people aren't doing that, but I'm pretty sure they are just going for something to do. But they're packed in there.
I actually did a mountain bike ride down a super steep hill. I mean, you get going fast, and then you go down the vineyard on a dirt road, and you end up on the Umpqua River. So there's a fire pit.
I would say probably number 1 for the view.
Number 1 for the view.
But
anyway, top 2 days, didn't care. They let us stay there on a Saturday and Sunday, or a Friday and a Saturday, and we left on a Sunday.
I think it was Friday and Saturday, yeah.
So we left out of there. I was kind of concerned I wasn't going to make it up the hill, but again, our beast just yanked that thing right. It was a steep hill. I mean, you're talking their driveway is super steep. So anyway, we get out of there and we head up to Monmouth, putting us only 20 miles from our destination. And we're at Emerson Winery, same thing, kick-ass view.
Oh, it was pretty there.
Super easy. You're back behind... You got some barns and stuff. Still, it's spectacular. He really was he loved the Harvest Host because he said he's had as many as 250. He said
at one time, over a Memorial Day weekend a couple years ago.
Fireworks? I thought he said something about fireworks show or 4th of July, or I'm not sure what it was, but...
I thought... Labor Day or Memorial Day, I think. But
this guy packed in 250 Harvest Hosts. I don't know if that was 250 I think it was 250 people in the weekend or something like that. But
he banked that day or that weekend because everybody there was buying wine, I guarantee you.
And he had the Brother Russian or Russian Big Red Brother Red. Whatever. It was
good.
It was good.
He was a nice guy.
Yeah, nice guy, comfortable, quiet. Our dog was infatuated with a wood pile of stuff. It was great. And now we're only 20 minutes from our final destination. I've got a friend that's you can stay at our place due to Oregon being shut down. It saved our ass.
Big time.
Oh my God. And hookups, which I didn't expect and I don't need it really, but at the same time, again,
it's nice just to take a break and kind of
7 months of boondocking. 7 months, no power, no water, no nothing. We strictly boondocked it all with nothing.
We did, and sometimes it was frustrating having to ration water, not taking a shower for a couple days, but it really wasn't even that bad. But we had to be really good at conserving water. But then when we did have to go in to get water or to do laundry or to do...
I will say the water wasn't super easy at the Harvest Host by no means. No. I would say water was super easy at one of the Harvest Hosts, the Melrose, that we had a hydrant right next to us.
Right.
Like literally a hydrant. I could have hooked up a hose, turned on the hydrant, and probably hooked it directly to the camper and we didn't. I just put a jug or two.
Yeah.
So Harvest Host, number 1, saved our butt, got us from Parker, Arizona, all the way to Oregon. It was, I think I did 1,300 miles. And we Harvest Hosted every couple hundred miles all the way up. I think we figured we stayed at 7 or 8. I don't know. I don't remember. Tobin, James, Viago, whatever it's at. That other one we won't mention, but
yeah.
The little grassy fieldy place. And then the next day, Smithfield. That was our long run. Not really, though. It was only up over a few mountain passes. That was Smithfield, and then the Melrose, and then Emerson. So that's 6 of them, and it took, and we had 3, 5. Yeah, I mean it was like 12 days.
Right. So
it was great.
I mean, they saved our butts. I don't know what we would have done without Harvest Host. I mean,
no, man.
Membership costs. Well, I think $70, something like that for a year, but it pays for itself like right away.
Well, and not only that, during a pandemic, it's if it wouldn't have been for that, we would have just had to make the big long run, and rest stops. Rest stops were weird. California, there was some open. It would say closed, and as you went by, it's like that's not closed. They must be in the bathroom.
Yeah.
That happened a couple times.
Yeah. But
we could have slept at a rest stop or two, probably 2. On the downhill side of Shasta, there was definitely a rest stop. You could sleep in there. Beautiful with Shasta out the window. Rainy here in Oregon. We're in Oregon at my buddy's house. You can probably see his shed out there. We're kind of behind his shop, but we got a great view out the front.
Anyway, back to Harvest Host. I would strongly recommend anybody who's doing full-time RVing to get a membership. You're not going to regret it.
And I really wish Harvest Host would join more wineries, because the area we're at right now, there's a Harvest Host 20 miles to the south. And then the next closest one's about 30 miles to the north. There's hundreds of vineyards in this area.
I think they just added a couple more. I was going to show you.
There's like 10 wineries within. We drove past 2 of them here. You got Van Duzer. I called Dave. I have a friend that owns a vineyard. And he's like, I feel creepy about a camper on my vineyard because I live there. And I'm just like... Wow,
that's
dude.
His choice. That's
I know, but this guy would be packed.
Well, but
he had 3 chicken coops. I mean, the old school, these buildings are 200-300 feet long, and he tore them down, so he's got these long slabs that you would go up and pull down, and you could just pull down, turn out when you got ready, just pull out. I mean... He's got the perfect venue, but he feels freaky about somebody in their camper. I said, we don't make any noise. We really don't.
Well, some people might, though. We've heard stories about...
Right.
That one lady said that she let somebody stay, and she went into town, and when she came back home, they were having a big party.
With like 30 people.
So that's why she's... kind of like, and I think that was during the COVID, wasn't it?
I think so, man.
And so
that's why our stay wasn't great.
She wanted me to sign. Freaked out about that, and she's like,
freaked out about everything, and we're in the middle of a pandemic, but yet she wants me to come in and sign all this paperwork and stuff, and I'm like,
yeah,
I'd like to
that.
buy whatever you are offering, which we're not going to say what they were offering because that'd really make it. But I don't know.
I wouldn't have mind buying one, but I didn't want to go in the store. You know what I mean?
Right, because she was kind of grumpy, and it's understandable. I mean, whenever we'd call, though, we'd be like, we don't have to. We're just checking,
Checking the availability.
She was probably one of the few that really probably shouldn't do it. And, I don't know. She didn't seem like she was too comfortable with it.
Well, she should have just said no then.
Right. I don't know. It wasn't like we didn't say, "Oh my God, we're gonna die if you don't take us in." We just called
asked,
"Are you guys accepting Harvest Host during pandemic?"
So that's it, right? That's all of them. We're done.
That's it.
So we like it.
So our good friends in Parker, Ann and Kenny and Ann, they actually did it and only stayed at one and said it was worth it.
This kind of kicked my butt. I was a little pissed, but not really, just kidding. She got to do wine tasting with the owner of one in Nevada, and they got to sample 10 different wines for free.
Yeah.
She said they got a little crazy, and then they had to go back to their camper and set it up because they just pulled in, and she said it was kind of crazy, but
they're really fun. And like I told her, what would really have been fun is to caravan with Ann and Kenny through wine country, and then there would have been two of us. It would have been. And with wine tasting going on and wine, it would just be, if it was normal
super
times,
fun if there wasn't any corona going on.
And we could have fit at all of them. Everyone we were at, we could have been far away from each other. At Melrose, we would have been kind of tight, but not really.
I think they could have put one along the...
We could have been one. We would have had whoever got there first got the one we had.
Well, of course.
Was sweet. But the other person would have to could almost have the same thing, just pull
back
up
over
a little.
There.
Yeah, kind of. So anyway, if you had friends that were fun at these, it would be a hoot. If you could caravan into Smithfield, two of us wouldn't have fit in there.
Farm, not Smithfield. That's a beef packing plant.
Two of us wouldn't have fit there. Tobin James, we could have fit 5 of us in there and not been crowded. That was awesome. Emerson, we both could have sat at that one, no problem. That one was weird because he said he had another one
coming and nobody showed up. So I think he thought we were the other one.
Probably because we called and are you accepting? Yes. Okay, we pull right in. I mean, we half of them we called the day of driving.
When we're not that far away from them, we're an hour away.
Yeah, we're an hour away, and come on up. And then I called a couple others because I wanted to kind of go to them, but after looking at the map and driving all day, I didn't really know if I wanted to wind another 30 minutes up a road off the beaten path. I should have. We should have checked out all available. So, anyway, Harvest Host.
Thumbs up.
Yay, yay. Saved our ass. Corona run. What do you say now?
Bye.
Adios, amigos.